Stan Pex, Arjun Mayani, Pedro Piquet, Ralph Aaron, Artem Petrov. The list goes on. They've all been discovered here, and now it's a five-way fight for the title. Mari Boya, Guillermo de Figueiredo, Kobe Powells, Isidro Callejas Gomez, Josh Ratigan and Craig Tanich in the top six. From Finland's Tuukka Tauponen, Norway's Sondre Klevekval, Robert De Haan of Holland and Lucas Podanovic of Argentina, Suleiman Zanfari of Morocco, Kotaro Shimbara of Japan, from Jaive Dadley of Kenya and Marcel Kuch of Poland. Gustav Malinch of Latvia along with Sami Megatunev of France, Jack Crawford of the United States along with his countryman Colin Queen, Norton Andreasen of Sweden alongside Estonia's Rimo Kadapik, Konstantin Reich, the Emirati, along with Jiri Bichichka Jr. of the Czech Republic. Dubai and the Czech Republic represented there. Vyacheslav Volosyankin of Russia alongside the Dane William Wolff. Then Josh Kutz of South Africa and the Italian Federico Albanese. William Orton of Great Britain from Lithuania's Kazas Sixnelis. Ethan Ho of Taiwan. Konstantinos Komninos of Greece. Winglam Gerardji of Hong Kong. Jiyu Gu of China. Maximilian Turillian of Austria. And Mozambique's Rodrigo Almeida. They're on their second formation lap. This is the one that will get them warmed up for the last race of the season. According to my calculations, it is Mari Boya who has the best chance to win this title. He has 61 points compared to Sami Megatunev on 47, 14 back, 20 back is Kobe Powells, who has been very strong on his home circuit. 21 points back is Federico Albanese, and 24 points back is Guillermo de Figueiredo. On paper, all Mari Boya has to do is finish solidly in the points and he'll be the champion. But this is the Academy Trophy. You never know what's coming round the corner. Boya, de Figueiredo, Powells, Callejas Gomez, Radican, Tanik, Tauponen, Kivlekval, De Haan, Bodanovic out of the final turn. The revs will rise. Are we going for a clean start? Let's find out. Yes, we are racing, and Boya's got a flyer off the line, and straight in behind him comes Kobe Powells. Powells is going to come through into third position, but not for long because he's got challenge from behind him. That looks like Josh Radican trying to slot himself into fourth place. He's done so. So Guillermo de Figueiredo still in second in front of Kobe Powells and Josh Radican. So only Isidro Callejas has not remained in his position from the top two rows, and it's a very clean start. The drivers have all gone through down the back straight. Up the inside, Powells takes second. Kobe Powells moves into second place, past the Brazilian Guillermo de Figueiredo, and Josh Radican through into third for Great Britain. Brilliant move from Radican. Great result for these two on the first lap thus far. But it's Boya, Powells, Radican and de Figueiredo. Here comes de Figueiredo back again for more. And up the inside behind, that is Marcel Kuch, I believe. No, that's Craig Tannick in front of Isidro Callejas Gomez. They come up to my position in front of the commentary box and back up the inside. That is a bold move into fourth position from Craig Tannick, the Frenchman. So Tannick into P4, Radican, Callejas Gomez, Zanfari, De Haan, Klevekval and Bodanovic on the first lap, but Mari Boya leads the way. Lap one down, 18 to go. Now, if Mari Boya gets a strong challenge from Kobe Powells on home soil, if I was Mari Boya, I wouldn't try too much to hold back, as Radican is going to get swamped here. He's been passed by several drivers, first of all by Callejas Gomez, then Zanfari. Now he's trying to stop the charge through from the next man in, which is the 503, and there's a little bit of jostling contact. Tauponen's gone down the order. Radican is a little bit loose, and now there's all sorts of warring. Isidro Callejas Gomez and Suleiman Zanfari have moved up. They are through, as is Sondre Klevekval, I do believe. He's made up some good ground on there behind Josh Radican, and there's a lot of jostling as Zanfari has now dropped in behind De Haan and Bodanovic, the Argentine. Klevekval, meanwhile, is going for fifth position, and he's got the move on Radican. Radican getting him straight back again off the turn. So, it's Boya who leads the way. Second is Kobe Powells. Guillermo de Figueiredo, Craig Tanich, Josh Radican, Sondre Klevekval, Robert De Haan, Lucas Bodanovic, Suleiman Zanfari and Tuukka Tauponen. Fastest of all in the first sector, Marcel Kuch, the Pole, who's in there behind Shibata-san. The Japanese, as into the lead goes Kobe Powells. He takes the lead from Mari Boya. Now, if I'm Mari Boya, I won't worry too much about this. I would just sit behind Kobe Powells and try to get away from the rest of the field. In fact, it looks to me that that's exactly what Mari Boya is doing. He doesn't mind at all that Kobe Powells has gone into the lead because he's focused on the championship If Paweł's wins and Boyer is second, he will be the champion. He doesn't have to panic here, and the best tactic from here on in is to let Paweł's lead and just follow in behind him. De Figueiredo, another championship rival, is there in third, but again, if De Figueiredo goes through, it doesn't matter to Boyer. He could still be champion.
Yeah, the battle is on, and what less could you hope for this final? 3 laps completed, 19 in total, and Kobe Paweł seems to have the upper hand for now, of course, because Mari Boyer is still very close. What a start of the race. This is the Academy Trophy at its best, the third and last round of the Championship 2018. Guilherme de Figueiredo still in third, Greg Tannick in fourth position. A beautiful performance from the Frenchman, who gained 2 places, now sitting outside of the top 3, but for how long? Maybe we're going to try to follow, of course, Greg Tannick as much as possible, ahead of Joshua Ratican. Sondrick Villegval is 6th, Robert Dohan is 7th, Luka Bonanovic is 8th, 9th place for Sylvain Zanfari, and 10th position for Tuka the Taponen. Definitely not the start he had expected. Taponen with a drop of 3 positions, but except for him and Boyer and De Figueiredo, everyone, and Joshua Ratican still in 5th, everyone has gained places in this top 10.
Well, it's still very tight. On dropped scores, you have to take the dropped scores into account, of course, and as it stands at the moment, Mari Boyer would be the champion if he stays in second position. They've got a big race ahead of them, and Mari Boyer, of course, cannot afford to let the Brazilian come past him behind Guilherme de Figueiredo. If that were to happen, then Mari Boyer would be beaten to the title by Kobe Paweł. So it's important for the Spaniard to remain in second place behind Kobe Paweł. If it stays like this, then Boyer would be champion by just 1 point on drop scores to Kobe Paweł. As up the inside, that is a move from Zanfari, I believe, to get through on the inside. No, sorry, that is Ratican taking the place back from Sondrick Villegval that he just lost. And now the Dutchman Robert De Haan is trying to move himself into the top 6 past Villegval.
Mari Boyer, who talked to us on the grid, you saw that Jay saying that his goal, of course, is not only winning the championship but the race as well. But as you said, that might not be the best idea, trying to get past Kobe Paweł and putting himself into a risky situation. Holding the second place ahead of Guilherme de Figueiredo, trying to score as many points as he can, and that could be enough to secure him the title in this Academy Trophies edition. We shall see what's going to happen, of course, to those two, and further behind, beautiful battle again between Greg Tannick and Joshua Ratican. This is a battle for 4th position as we speak. Sami Megatounif, the 507, the young Frenchman, 57.2, and great battle right now between the 517, Tuka Taponen and Sondrick Villegval. This is a battle for 8th position as they came out of the corner number 7, one of the trickiest parts certainly for overtaking, but where we've seen many maneuvers, successful or not.
Yeah, Villegval has had a tricky couple of laps. He was fighting with Josh Ratican for the top 5 earlier on in the race, so he seems to have lost a bit of ground. But it's Paweł's leading, Boyer second, De Figueiredo in third position from Ratican, Tannic, De Haan, Bodanovic, the Argentine, then Tuka Taponen in front of Sami Megatounif, who now creeps up into 9th position. Now this is an important one because unfortunately it looks to me as though Sami Megatounif, if he stays where he is not going to score many more points in the championship, and that will drop him to 4th in the standings behind Paweł's and De Figueiredo. So the Brazilian there in third position is sitting very tightly, but he could determine the outcome of this championship. If he gets past Mari Boyer later in the race, then that would give the title to Kobe Paweł. So Boyer at the moment is just focusing on working with Kobe Paweł and getting a way out front.
But if I were Kobe Paweł, what more can you do than just winning this last round? There's nothing much more to help his cause, actually, because as long as you said Mari Boyer keeps his second position, there's of course no dreams of title for Kobe Paweł. But he's doing the job, the young Belgian local hero, the 502, holding the first position, coming across the last corner onto the straight finish line. Let's have a look at the gap as it is. Almost 3-4 tenths of a second. Still Mari Boyer keeping the pace in the tail of Kobe Paweł as we speak. Guilherme de Figueiredo just behind has a lot of trouble. I think Joshua Ratican 3-4 tenths of a second behind. So that's going to be a battle for all the position until the very end.
I'm afraid it's about to be game over for the Czech driver, Jiří Bečečka Jr. You can see him through turn 1. He's had a spin, actually, and 2 karts have gone into him there at turn 2. Jiří Bečečka Jr. had a loose bumper before that accident, and now there's 3 of them all together. So unfortunately, that is Bečečka Jr. The 542 is out as well. That, unfortunately, is That's Will Orton, the Brit, and also gone with him is Federico Albanese. That is one of the championship contenders. So Federico Albanese is now out of this race, and that means he will only score a best of 5th in the championship. What a shame for the Italian.
What a shame and what a surprise for the young one who actually won the previous one in Lonato on home soil, but definitely not the conclusion of what has been, let's be honest, a very, very difficult weekend for the young Federico Albanese, who could have been a contender at one point for the championship, but this is no more due to this retirement. Fastest lap on the track for Mari Boya, actually increasing his speed and decreasing the gap on Kobe Powell. This is your battle for the win and the title at the end, suddenly in the hands of Mari Boya, if things, of course, stay the way they are. Kobe Powell's Mari Boya, 0.2 of a second in this lap.
How strictly have they done their maths in the Boya camp, I wonder, because they may not necessarily be aware of the fact that if Boya stays where he is behind Kobe Powers, he will win the title by 1 point. But obviously Boya is a racer, and he is the only driver all season who has scored points in all 5 competitions thus far. This is the 6th one. 3 of those contests, of course, are made up of the qualifying heats total. And up the inside, that's Vatican. He makes the move on the inside there of Guillermo de Figueiredo for 3rd position. The Brit finally looks like he's going to finish his season on a high note after so much bad luck through the season. But Josh Radican fights his way through to 3rd position as Kobe Powers responds to Boya with another new fastest lap.
Yeah, Guillermo de Figueiredo now in 3rd, but down 1.7 seconds on the top 2. That's going to be tricky, but not impossible for Guillermo de Figueiredo to try to catch with Kobe Powers and Maria Boya, the 1 and 2 respectively. We still have a bit less than 10 laps to go before the checkered flag. Guillermo de Figueiredo is going to give everything he has in his mechanic and in his little arms to try to decrease the gap between himself and Mari Boya. But Joshua Ratican might have something left to say in this race. Still in 4th position ahead of Greg Tannick, who dropped
two more have gone.
And
two
an
more have
accident.
gone. Now that is, now who of those two that have gone together? That's Konstantin Reich and Kaja Signelis. So the Lithuanian and the Emirati both out of the race there, unfortunately. Konstantin Reich, and unfortunately there too goes Kaja Signelis. So that's a real shame for those two. Their championship is done. But out in front, there is a massive tussle for 3rd position. Radican, De Figueiredo, Tanich and De Haan. Those 4 will battle for the 3rd step of the podium. These 2 will battle for the win and the title.
Mari Boya doing a great job right now, and as well as Kobe Powers defending his 1st position until the very end. What a beautiful story that would be to see Kobe Powers winning here in Genk on home soil. And even though he might not get the title at the end, that would be a fantastic conclusion of a season. Brilliant for him.
Well, it's all down to what they decide to do here. Does Mari Boya consolidate, settle for 2nd place and seal the title by 1 point? Or does he go for the glory? Does he go for the victory, trying to rob Powers on home soil? They go into turn 2, nothing to choose between them. And Boya does look quite fired up, actually. He's not settling for this, is he? He's got 8 laps to go, and the Spaniard is going to go for it. You remember Fernando Alonso in his younger days? I think we've got another one here.
Fingers crossed for Mari Boya, as well as for as many as youngsters as possible to get across the ladder and getting themselves as high as possible, of course. But Mari Boya definitely very threatening on Kobe Powers. Should we see a move coming up very fast? Kobe Powers is going to look, and he's looking again over his shoulder to see where Mari Boya is. Those two, of course, know each other very well. They've competed against each other all through the year. So this is going to be a fantastic battle for the 7 remaining laps. But definitely, I wouldn't be surprised actually if Mari Boya's father, or at least the people he's working with, haven't actually told Mari to play it safe at one point in the race. If he has the title in his hands, as it is the case, at the moment, maybe they told him, okay, don't take too many risks trying to get past someone else, because you could get yourselves out of the race too, and it will be over for your titles dream.
He's just looked over his shoulder to see how far back the 3rd place chase is. There it is, Radican, De Figueiredo, Tanich and De Haan, and it's far enough back that he doesn't have to panic too much here, as Tuka Tarpan and the Finn goes 7th position at the moment and sets a new fastest lap. Semi Megatuniv is now in 8th position and still looking likely to be 4th in the championship standings on dropped scores. But it is those 2 up front battling away for the race and the title. Kobe Powers and Mari Boya in 2nd position. If it stays like this, Boyer wins the title by just 1 point. But Marty Boyer is a winner. He is a racer, and maybe, just maybe, he may not be satisfied enough with a second place. He may just feel, do you know what? That's Kobe Powell's on home soil, but I can beat him. He has a run up towards the first corner. He's not going to risk anything yet, although Powell's takes a little bit of a wider line than I think was expected. Boyer goes over the curbs just a little bit. He doesn't need to worry too much about this. This is a calculated effort from Boyer, having just set the new fastest lap, 56.14. But Boyer is definitely in the hot seat for the title. What will he do?
Yeah, less than 0.2 of a second between those two, Kobe Powers and Mara Boyer. Further back in the field, we still have Joshua Ratican in third position. Guillermo de Figueiredo, who actually dropped the position to Greg Tanik, now in fourth. The Brazilian de Figueiredo in fifth, ahead of Robert de Haan. Seventh position for Tuka Taponen. Luka Badinovic gained the position at the moment in front of Sami Megatounef and Suleiman Zanfari, closing in the top 10. Definitely not the race he had expected. Sami Megatounef as well as Zanfari, certainly, knowing that Megatounef for long had been a contender and a serious one for the title.
5 laps to go. Josh Ratican started to pull away from what is now a fourth place battle. Tanic, de Figueiredo and de Haan. It looks to me now as though the Brazilian is not going to be the champion, but he does look set for third position unless he loses another place or two, because he's now only 1 point ahead of Sami Megatounef for third in the standings. So this is critical for de Figueiredo. He can't afford to lose many more places. He's down to fifth, but if he drops to sixth place behind Robert de Haan, then I think it's going to go back to Megatounef. He's got to be very, very careful here how he plays it. Now the inside, there goes de Haan. There goes de Haan into fifth position. Now that is a critical one because de Figueiredo knows he's got to get back past him, and he does so. He saves his bacon. The Brazilian keeps himself in contention for the top 3 in the title standings. With fifth position, that would be enough. Only just, but it would be enough. So he's still pushing like crazy.
Yeah, beautiful performance from the youngsters from the academy. This is, of course, all we hope for and all we need to see for such a beautiful final here in Genk. Kobe Powell's, let's have a look, 0.3 of a second. He has no increases gap.
That's Tarpanen. He's got past Robert de Haan. So Tuka Tarpanen's just on a 56.0, fastest lap, and he's caught Robert de Haan out.
There you go. That may be the start of something interesting for Tuka Tarpanen, actually, who dropped back in 7th position, now 6th, getting past de Haan indeed. But Kobe Powell's has extended his lead on Mari Boyer down up to 0.3 of a second. So does that mean that Boyer has finally understood that maybe he won't be able to get past the Kobe Powell's, and maybe then he might need to secure the second place for the title?
Nice little tussle in the midfield there. I think that was Klevekval having a good battle there with Jack Crawford of the United States, and Crawford got through into 12th place as they run in front of Isidro Callejas Gomez, the original pole sitter for this weekend. But now Kobe Powell's and Mari Boyer, first and second. Boyer checking over his shoulder. Where's Ratican? He's far enough back. I'm not panicking yet. 3 laps to go. Oh, and there's an off right in front of our commentary position. That looks to me like the 5:04. And that is going to be, or it might not have been actually, my apologies. I'll try and figure out who that was a little later. That was Maximilian Turillian actually, the 5:34, the Austrian. So he went off the road in front of our position here in the commentary box, but he has got back on again. Here's that battle. Suleiman Zanfari in front of the 5:31 of Badanovic, but that man, Sami Megatounef, with the red helmet in the 5:07, no longer in contention for the title as things currently stand. But this battle is a good one as well. Oh, Megatounef having a great tussle with Norton Andreasen, the Swede, as they continue to war. But now into the final 2 laps, the home favourite, Kobe Powell's, is looking good to keep the victory. Mari Boyer is right behind him with 2 to go. He will know that there's plenty of time back to Ratican. Will he go for the victory, or will he settle for the title?
Yeah, that's a big question, but still those two are offering a fantastic spectacle on the track of Genk. Here they are, Kobe Powell's, Mari Boyer. 2 fantastic champions of the future, that's for sure. Mari Boyer, could he actually try a very late move on Kobe Powell's and try to grab the win? They've never been so close before. Mari Boyer in the tail of Kobe Powell's. Is Kobe Powell's maybe out of his tires, or is he trying maybe to make Mari Boyer that maybe he has a chance, but he has not. We shall see in the last 2 laps, less than 2 laps before the checkered flag. Mari Boyer is very close. Is he going to take the inside line in the last corner before the straight finish line? Not happening again for Mari Boyer. Maybe another chance in the corner number 1.
The final lap of the season for the FIA Karting Academy Trophy. And who is it going to be that wins the race? And who's it going to be that wins the title? It's all going to come down to what they decide to do between them. Kobe Powell's leading Marty Boyer. Marty Boyer looks to have dropped back a little bit. And I think he knows that that's going to be enough. He's tried his best on Kobe Powell's. He tried to get the win away from the Belgian, but on home soil, the race win is not important enough to Marty Boyer to risk it. He's going to settle for second, and that will be enough to win the title. Meanwhile, there's a good scrap going on behind. That's Tarpanen and De Haan trying to get closer to Guillermo de Figueiredo at the final laps of the race. Final corners, so let's see how it goes. But Kobe Powell's is going to be our race winner. Marty Boyer, though, is going to be the 9th FIA Karting Academy Trophy champion. The right man won on the day. The Belgium is going to take victory on home soil. Kobe Powell's is the winner in Belgium, but the FIA Karting Academy Trophy champion is Marty Boyer. What a moment! Kobe Powell's is elated with a win on home soil and second in the title by 1 point, but Boyer knows he's done enough. He is the FIA Karting Academy Trophy champion. Kern Lemon, circuit owner, there on the phone clearly to someone in Formula One. You better sign this boy, Kobe Powell's. He's a good egg. He's going to be amazing in the world of car racing one day. But that man, Marty Boyer, is the champion. Absolutely superb.
Superb is the right word, Jake. Fantastic racing, as it was for the entire championship. And this weekend, the home of champions as a new champion. Certainly a name to keep an eye on in the future. You said it yourself. Kobe Powell's winner here this Sunday under beautiful sky and a lot of fellow countrymen. Certainly there's going to be a lot of cheering in front of the podium. Of course, that's going to be taking place in a few minutes and certainly in the days to come. Then we have a winner, Marty Boyer. Fantastic performance all through the season. One win for him. A podium here in Belgium, that was fully enough to secure him the title in this year's edition of the Academy Trophy. Congratulations, of course, to them too, Joshua Tikan completing the podium, and congratulations to the rest of the field for such a beautiful spectacle.
Well done to our drivers out there. Guillaume will head downstairs to go and sort out the podium moment, but Marty Boyer has done enough. Kobe Powell's is the winner in Belgium, and there is delight around the circuit for Kobe, who has done an amazing job. But the champion of 2018 in the FIA Karting Academy Trophy, as he comes past my position in the commentary box, it is Marty.